Hi guys, sorry I couldn't read yesterday. I was just so busy trying to get ready for our online schooling. I'm excited to get started, but I really wish we were just back in the classroom. I miss you guys so much. So we are on chapter 10, The Escape. I know we left off. It was just so intense. I can hardly wait to see what happens. Boris, Boris, whispered Elmer from under the snapdragon bush. Are they all right? What's happened? So remember, Elmer is in the tunnel with Boris's family. Nothing's happened. Everything's all right, and we're ready to go. I couldn't see the net, but we'll hope for the best. Did you say one of the men is called Frank? Yes, I heard them mention a Frank and an Albert. Good. I'll meet you here afterwards. I told your family you'd have to take me back and that you'd find them near here, someplace. Fine, said the dragon. I can't wait. All right, now, I'm going back. Remember, as soon as you hear my cap pistol the third time, you're to make as much noise with the horn and whistle as you possibly can. So a cap pistol, a little cap gun. It's a toy gun, and it makes a little like blast kind of sound, a popping sound. Elmer turned back down into the tunnel and he hurried to the big cave. Everyone was ready. Boris will be your signal, he explained. As soon as you hear him blowing his horn and whistle, you're all to blow as hard as you can in every direction. I'll yell, Boris, when it's time to charge. But look carefully at the net before you try to pass by. I don't know where the opening will be. Are you ready? Elmer's heart was pounding so hard. He was sure it must echo through the cave. Ready, whispered the 15 waiting dragons. Elmer crept up as close to the net. The men were unrolling blankets and getting ready for the night. There was no moon. Oh, so that's good. It must be very dark. Perfect, thought Elmer. He took out his cap pistol and he fired at once. Then, help! Help! He cried in a gruff voice. Get me out of here, I'm trapped! The men jumped up, tripping all over their blankets and bumping into one another. What was that? Somebody's in the cave. Frank, Albert, help, help, yelled Elmer again. Oh, Elmer is so sneaky, isn't he? Come on, let's hurry, said the men, and they began moving great boulders off the edge of the net. So that's how they fastened down the bottom, thought Elmer. That should make it easy. Then he shot off his pistol again and cried, They got me! Help! The men frantically rolled away the boulders. Just as they began pulling aside the heavy net, Elmer shot off the pistol for the third time, and he ran back into the cave. Boris heard the third shot and began blowing his whistle and horn and running up and down over the meadow. As the noise echoed over the lake, the 15 trapped dragons started in on their whistles and horns. Noise roared wildly through the cave, back and forth across the lake, and it echoed madly around the circle of mountains. Some of the men had started off when they heard Boris. The others who had been about to rescue Elmer, they ran out of the cave in terror. Elmer shouted, Boris! And he raced back through the tunnel. The 15 dragons surged toward the entrance. Oh, look at this picture. Do you notice in the lake, the men's hats are floating on the water? They were so scared they lost their hats. That's funny. So the 15 dragons surged toward the entrance and they found where the men had pulled aside the net and poured through the opening, trampling out the campfire as they came. Oh, so if they trampled out the campfire, what does that mean? We know it was a super dark night. The moon wasn't really showing. Now the fire's gone too. Into the sky they zoomed, still blowing their whistles and horns. Then they disappeared into the darkness, leaving 13 men scattered over the meadows where they had fled, and 3 men sitting in the lake water where they had jumped. I thought it was hats floating. It's actually men who jumped in the water. What happened? Said Frank to Albert. And you're not going to believe it. That's the end of the chapter. Oh my goodness, what a cliffhanger. So tomorrow is going to be chapter 11, The Dragon Affair. Oh my goodness, and you're not going to believe this either. Tomorrow is going to be our last chapter of The Dragons of Blueland by Ruth Stiles Gannett. Crazy. Well, I hope you get outside and enjoy some beautiful sunshine, and I look forward to starting our lessons online next week.